What are the standouts in your platform or you yourself that you think make you the better candidate for governor?
Okay. Well, like I said, I've started my freshman year and I've worked with all parts of JSA. My freshman year, I was a chapter affairs agent, which is now called a chapter coordinator. The next year, I went on to lead that department on the state level, where I worked with every single chapter president and all the department heads. So I have an awareness of all the different departments. This year, I'm the Southern Empire Region Mayor, which essentially has many of the duties as the governor, but on a smaller scale. And I'm also my high school's, the Orange County High School Arts Chapter President. So my knowledge and understanding and love of JSA is well versed and on all levels. My platform has 4 innovations, which all are tangible and will be carried out, because last year when I ran for mayor, I've kept every single promise I made to you all. In addition, I have continued promises of things I think are strong in the state, and I will continue to implement those things and make sure that next year is as prosperous as it could be.
Probably what I see that I stand out from Juliana is that probably maybe in a negative light, but I don't have as much experience as her. But I mean, I think the things that probably would benefit from my campaign is that I see JSA as sort of a collective effort towards, political nirvana, and I wish to make sure that that sort of retains itself and that we return to a state of basically grassroots JSA of when they first started. The first mission of this group was for stimulating debate, political awareness, and civic engagement through talks and mini-cons and conventions. And I wish to see that sort of perpetuated. I wish to not worry about, all the legislation. I wish to not worry about all this, sort of political hoo-ha or hoopla. My bad. I don't know if either of those are words, but not be concerned with all this excess BS that's going on through JSA and just worry about, are we debating? Are we here for our mission of making political awareness in these young students and making sure that they're all having a good time while they're doing it? And that's probably one of my main focuses in my platform, is to make sure that we're returning to what the original mission of this organization was, which was stimulating debate, which has now unfortunately been construed into weird things, including the election system, including the cabinet, and including elitism and set differences between chapters and regions. And I wish to just put all that aside and just worry about, are we having a collective experience of JSA and debate?
You were first.
Okay, what do you think the big contribution you've made to the JSA organization is?
Well, like I've already kind of elaborated, I truly am a public servant to this organization. I put everything I can into this since my very first convention, All State, 2009. And I guess I'll reiterate specifically what's happened this year since it's most relevant. We've set records not only for the Southern Empire region, but for the state in both the fall and the spring in terms of one-day attendance, bringing JSA to as many as we can. I've worked extremely hard to connect with each of my chapter presidents on a personal level. I'm friends with them, I call all of them, I've had meetings at my house, so I really am in touch with each of them on a personal level. We've also hosted the movie nights to kind of foster a social bonding aspect in our organization, and just my dedication has been tireless, and I don't want it to stop anytime soon.
I'd say that my biggest contribution has been basically as working on SCR cabinet as deputy director of Thought Talks. I supplied a lot of the debates for the fall one day as well as the spring one day. I also, for my own chapter at least, I've started up a YouTube channel, youtube.com/DeSantiagoJSA. And then from there I have been filming every single one of our chapter meetings, putting it on there for other people to see. We've had great input, so that I feel is kind of just making JSA more aware in the online community, and for people who say, or in other schools who just don't have a chapter but they like what's going on and who unfortunately may never have a chapter, but at least they can still get that experience. So that'd be one of my contributions to the organization, is that getting it out there through the internet, through the beauty of YouTube and video services. And then more recently, me and one of my other chapter members, Matthew Dos Santos, we orchestrated this whole taxi service for the Santiago Minicon. We kind of put that together and were able to figure out, devise a way to have kids who normally would not be able to make it to the Minicon actually come out. And in fact, that's probably one of the things I wish to bring into the state level as well.
This question is for both of you. Could you, in a nutshell, sum up what the original mission of JSA is or was?
The way I saw it, or at least that's what it had always been sold to me, is that it's a place for debate, discussion, political awareness, and that's what I'd always thought JSA was. It's basically kids, they come together, they talk about something, they shake hands, and then they leave. And I'm sure, well, I mean, I don't know, because I wasn't there when they started in 1934, but I'm sure they probably had similar interests. It was probably a bunch of, similar young kids who thought, you know what, we're getting involved. We're in a time of depression and different political happenings in 1934, so they thought, we want to talk about this. And so it probably started out casually, but their mission just became being aware, knowing what's going on in their world and how they can somehow make a difference through, public oration and speaking. And I think that's one of the mission, is that to make sure that kids aren't just going through life through parties and drugs and just having fun, which, I'm not opposed to any of those things, but to make sure that they're doing so, to make sure that they're doing so, but also not just being dumb and a waste to society. Make sure they're actually contributing something, if not for, 30 minutes at lunch just in a room with their friends.
Well, it's interesting you asked that because this summer I was